Halloween typically embodies a spirit of enchantment and fun. However, beneath the festive facade, this bewitching night has witnessed some of the most perplexing and bone-chilling murder cases in history, still shrouded in mystery. But before we dive right into the details, do not forget to subscribe to the Crime Dictionary channel and turn on the notification bell. These are the top 5 Halloween murders that were unsolved, yet not forgotten. 1. Catherine Armstrong. Acquires Silent Night. On a Halloween night in 1963, Newcastle was rocked by a gruesome murder. Lillian Armstrong, a retired school headmistress, was found dead in her home, brutally stabbed 28 times and strangled with a nylon stocking. The crime scene was a bloodbath, indicating a frenzied attack. Yet, Lillian fought back, leaving defense wounds on her hands. The murder ignited the largest manhunt Tyneside had ever seen, but the killer remained elusive. Despite exhaustive efforts, the police hit dead ends at every turn. No signs of forced entry, no sexual assault, and no robbery. The murder weapon was never found, and over 16,000 people were interviewed with no success. Scotland Yard even stepped in, but the case went cold. Was Lillian's killer someone she knew? Did multiple attackers commit this heinous crime? The questions piled up, but answers were scarce. Years later, the house where Lillian was murdered gained a reputation for being haunted. New tenants reported eerie presences and ghostly figures. Could it be Lillian's spirit, still lingering in the place of her untimely death? The case remains unsolved to this day, leaving a haunting void in the annals of true crime. 2. Teresa Venegas. A teen's nightmare. Halloween night in 2006 turned into a waking nightmare for Teresa Venegas and her family. The 16-year-old was last seen on foot near the Green Cay subdivision, Dickinson, North Dakota, around 11 p.m., heading home after school. Tragically, she never made it back. 3 agonizing days passed before Teresa's lifeless body was discovered in a field across from Dickinson High School. The horrors she had endured were beyond comprehension. She had been strangled, raped, and her hair had been mercilessly cut off. Over 17 years have passed since that fateful Halloween night, but justice remains elusive. Detectives have tirelessly pursued leads and interviewed at least 45 individuals, but the lack of concrete evidence has made it impossible to nail down a suspect. The case remains open, and Teresa's family continues to hope for closure and the day when her killer is brought to justice. Their fervent desire to prevent another innocent life from being taken is fueling an unyielding determination to put an end in this sad story. 3. Roberta Miller. A divorce's haunting echo. One of the most discussed unsolved Halloween murders is about to follow. The year was 2010 when Roberta Bobby Miller moved in her home in Guilford. She was seeking solace after a long and bitter divorce from her ex-husband, Gary Miller. This seemingly peaceful fresh start would turn into a nightmare on Halloween night. On that fateful evening, an uninvited guest arrived at Bobby's doorstep. What's perplexing is that there were no signs of forced entry, suggesting that she may have known her visitor. The intruder left behind a scene of unspeakable violence, claiming not only Bobby's life, but also that of her faithful dog Scout. Initially, suspicion naturally fell on Gary Miller, given the contentious nature of their divorce and ongoing financial disputes. Despite these alarming circumstances, Gary was never charged with Bobby's murder. Strangely, just 2 days before Bobby's murder, a home Gary owned in Maine was burned down. Adding to the intrigue, $26,000 in cash was found untouched in Bobby's home, raising questions about the motive behind the murder. In 2015, Bobby's mother even financed a billboard promising a substantial $53,000 reward for any information leading to a conviction. Still, the case remains unsolved, leaving Guilford haunted by the unanswered questions that continue to shroud Bobby's murder. 4. James Adamski. A nightmarish Halloween. It was Halloween night, 1982, and 18-year-old James Adamski was living it up at a party in Cheektowaga, New York. With a costume he called the American Gigolo look, James was the life of the party until he vanished. Last seen stumbling out of the bar at 3:30 a.m., James never made it home. His parents woke up to an empty room, a sight they'd never seen before. Alarm bells rang. Something was wrong. Weeks of frantic searching led to a heart-stopping moment on December 26th. Two rabbit hunters stumbled upon a shallow grave in a secluded woodland, only 4 miles from where James was last seen. The chilling sight? James's lifeless body, still clad in his Halloween costume. He had been savagely beaten, his forehead marred by brutal, blunt force blows. The suspected murder weapon? A baseball bat. DNA evidence hinted at a lone killer. But who could commit such a heinous act? The emotional wreckage left in the wake of James's murder is immeasurable. His brother Andy recalls their mother, forever changed, her spirit crushed by the weight of the unknown. Both parents passed away in the 2000s, their hearts heavy with the unsolved mystery of their son's murder. Yet hope flickers in the dark. Advances in technology could unearth new clues, and the key to solving this cold case may still be out there. Will the Adamski family ever find the closure they so desperately seek? 5. Urpana Jinaga. A life cut short and sudden. Halloween weekend in 2008 took a dark turn when 24-year-old Urpana Jinaga was found dead in her Redmond apartment. A graduate student at the University of Washington, Urpana was known for her bright future and warm personality. Her life was tragically cut short, leaving friends and family in shock and a community rattled. The details of the crime scene were horrifying. Urpana had been brutally attacked and sexually assaulted. Investigators collected DNA evidence, hoping for a breakthrough. But the DNA led to a frustrating dead end, matching no one in criminal databases. Justice for Urpana seemed to slip further away. Devastated by her loss, Urpana's loved ones organized vigils and fundraisers, keeping her case in the public eye and raising reward money for crucial information. Despite years of investigation and re-examination of evidence, the case remains cold. The haunting question lingers: who killed Urpana Jinaga? These unsolved Halloween murders serve as chilling reminders of the mysteries that lurk in the darkest corners of our world. As Halloween approaches each year, we can't help but wonder, will the shadows ever release their secrets, or will these cases remain eternally shrouded in darkness? Only time will tell, as the quest for answers continues, fueled by the hope of bringing closure to these harrowing tales.